The elimination quarterfinals in round 2 of the Ultimate Bowls Championship have been concluded, and the matches featured brilliant victories by Dandenong, ITP Queensland, The Point and Deer Park. Mahoney looking to deliver. They have done a great job here this week. Look at it, look at it. Have a look at Holly's on the ground. Oh!
Absolutely loving that, because not only is it the shot, it's the toucher. He's given everyone in the crowd a high five.
Today, we advance to semi-final 1 in what will be a blockbuster, showcasing round 1 winner Dandenong Club and ITP Queensland. A finals berth is up for grabs and a winner's cheque for $60,000. Also today, we catch up with UBC and Jackaroo superstar Barrie Lester.
I'd love to have the title of being a world champion next to my name. I'd like to look back at my career knowing I've done a lot of hard work and won a world title, and ideally win a world title with some of my Australian Jackaroos teammates.
Our coverage proudly supported by Ryman Healthcare, Aero Bowls, Sports Centre and the Deer Park Club.
Thank you for joining us as our coverage of the Ultimate Bowls Championship continues here from Deer Park. Now I'm with a man who needs no introduction, but we're going to give him one anyway. With 21 world titles and 5 Commonwealth Games golds, Alex Marshall, how has Ultimate Bowls Championship changed the game?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. You know, it's great looking forward to these events. You know, playing the UK, you know, year in, year out, and there's nothing like this over in the UK. It's so quiet, you know, it's so basic, but you know, that's why I keep coming over here, because of the atmosphere. You know, the crowd get involved, it's lively, it's exciting, and that's what bowls is all about, and that's what everybody wants to be involved in. So it's, you know, the future looks really good over here for these events.
Most definitely. Now, when you have people come and talk to you about the Ultimate Bowls Championship, what are those burning questions that fans are asking you? Yeah,
the questions are, you know, how exciting is it? You know, is there people obviously barracking for, you know, for different sides, a lot of atmosphere, you know, because these guys see it on social media, but they don't really see everything, you know, that's on it. But they're used to not seeing that. You know, there's nothing like that in Scotland. So people are asking a lot of questions. You know, it's quick fire. It's 15 seconds, 30 seconds. So I think, you know, there's a lot of excitement about that over there in the UK. So I think there could be maybe possibilities of maybe getting a team together to come out.
Definitely, and it's not just the UK. I mean, the Ultimate Bowls Championship is global. Talk to me a little bit about the interest that we're receiving from teams all over the planet.
Yeah, it's getting bigger every year. There's going to be Malaysia, Hong Kong. You know, there's so many wonderful players from Australia, New Zealand, some Irish, some Scottish. But it'd be absolutely fantastic if Scotland could send a team over to this event and make it so much more exciting as well.
Exciting times ahead. Plenty more ahead on the Ultimate Bowls Championship.
Great to have your company. Welcome to our continued coverage in the Ultimate Bowls Championship from Deer Park. Semi-final number 1 comes your way shortly. But beforehand, I caught up with Barrie Lester, one of the sport's big guns. Barrie, the people at the helm of the Ultimate Bowls Championship couldn't have hoped for a better start to the tournament at Warilla, nor could Barrie Lester have hoped for a better start to the tournament. And you certainly put your stamp on it. There was no one more excited than you there.
Well, TV, you know, massive event with all the great players. You want to sort of be a bit flamboyant on and off the green and just be your natural self. I think that's really important part of this event, just going out there and playing your normal game and being who you are, and embrace the TV, embrace the crowd for what it is and what spectacle the event is. So I love it. You've
obviously heard the expression in sport that athlete is going through a purple patch. It very much applies to you, and you would concede over the last 18 months you've emerged as one of the real heavy hitters in the sport globally. What do you put it down to?
I think for me, when I go out in the green, if I know I've trained really hard, worked on my game physically, mentally, and just put myself into a good mindset out there on the green, I just feel as though I belong and I can achieve anything I sort of trained to do. So, whereas the other side of that coin is if I haven't trained, and then there's self-doubt. So I've really put a lot of time and effort and made it a priority in my life the last 3 or 4 years to do the best I can, and that in years come by, I can look back on my career and say, you know what, I did have a really good go at it and got some reward along the way.
How do you train physically and mentally for this game?
Yeah, I heard a saying many years ago, I think it was from a cricketer, saying that, you know, with those long days out on the cricket oval, that really it's all in your legs. And I found more and more as I sort of got to my mid-late 30s that the fitness and the strength in my body and my legs was key to hold me up day in, day out and game after game. And we're playing in different conditions where we're playing long days and just trying to work on my core strength, my physical strength, and that then mentally puts me in a good state of mind, and then it gives me a good position to go out and play.
We often hear of elite sportsmen and women in various pursuits utilising sports psychologists to get inside their head and help them get a winning attitude. Is there a place for that sort of thing and that approach in this sport?
No doubt. I watch a lot of other sports and I try to work with other athletes as well, and I look at golf. They've got to really try and turn around a bad shot within a few minutes to play their next shot, and in bowls you've only got seconds and you can't really look back on that bad shot. You've really got to move on really quickly, and you've got to have a trigger point. And my trigger point is I try to reflect on my last best shot. So if I've played a good shot in the last 5-10 minutes, but then I've played a couple of bad ones, I'll quickly go back to that really good shot and try and do that again. So there's some of the stuff I've worked on with sports psychs over the last few years.
I talked about your purple patch of form and the fact you've now established yourself among the upper echelon of the sport. What are your personal goals for the next 12 months?
Yeah, I guess I don't rest on the laurels. I love the fact that I'm in the Australian team and I love wearing the green and gold, but I'd love to have the title of being a world champion next to my name. I must admit, being so close back in 2016 in New Zealand, we played an extra end to lose to England. We could have won a couple of world titles over there. So I'd like to look back in my career knowing I've done a lot of hard work and won a world title, and ideally win a world title with some of my Australian Jackaroos teammates.
Kelvin, this is the only format in bowls where you can have one bowl to go, you're 11 behind on the scoreboard, you still got a chance. Let's watch it, let's see what he can do.
Well, here we go, 61-50. He needs 10 points, remember, to win this match. He's got to draw the shot. Well, he's so close. Have a look at this, Gary. Well,
He's got the toucher. He falls over Barrie Lester. Look at him, he loves it.
You're watching the Ultimate Bowls Championship from Deer Park in Melbourne. Our coverage proudly supported by Ryman Healthcare, Aero Bowls, Sports Centre and the Deer Park Club.
Welcome back as we continue to showcase the world's best talent here on the Ultimate Bowls Championship stage at Deer Park Club. Greenie, let's go back to the ring.
Thanks, Ebony, and what a semi-final we have. Dandenong Club up against ITP Queensland. I'm Chris Green, and joining me is David Tapp in the box today, and it's a semi-final you do not want to miss. 4 fantastic players, the crowd is building. We've got the corporate area, we've got the grandstand. Here at Deer Park, facility's amazing. We see 2 fantastic players on screen, joined by another 2 cracking players in Corey Wedlock and Sean Baker from the ITP Queensland side. They will come up against the Dandenong stronghold, and that is Barrie Lester and Gary Kelly. They've been here, they've done it before. They're a superstar side, packed with plenty of knowledge of this green. And up against them, ITP Queensland. Corey Wedlock and Sean Baker a little bit slow to start off this event, but haven't they found some form? And they will need that form if they are to knock out the defending champions, as we see on screen, Gary Kelly from the Dandenong Club.
Well said, Chris. Looking forward to this semi-final with no little expectation. Big prize awaits the winner of this. A spot in the all-important finale and an opportunity to get their hands on that cheque for $60,000. Undoubtedly 4 of the best players in the world on the rink. Barrie Lester, the first to deliver. You mentioned Corey Wedlock when we had a look at the profile boards, Chris, as we watched this first bowl of the game in end number 1. A lot of people believe he is the best male player in the country right now.
He is in some sort of form. Golden Nugget winner. Sean Baker, he's a previous winner of many events. Can he make it a UBC title? But standing in their way in this semi-final from the Dandenong Club, Gary Kelly and Barrie Lester. One of the big things the Dandenong Club have done well in all these knockout matches is claiming big points on the first end, really setting up a platform for the rest of the match. Gary Kelly and Corey Wedlock, who will be facing off against each other as skips. They're also club mates now. Gary Kelly from Northern Ireland, now at Warilla. Corey Wedlock, he started his career the far north coast of New South Wales. He's now playing at Warilla, so club mates facing off against each other. The 2 leads, Sean Baker, more renowned as a skip, but Barrie Lester, as we see, a fantastic toucher there. 3 points to start the scoreboard pressure. He's always been a big player lead.
Excellent. Bowl by Lester. get the first toucher of this semi-final. Of course, Barrie in 2016, part of the triples team, along with Aaron Sheriff and Mark Casey, winning a silver medal in the 2016 World Outdoor Bowls Championship. And look, he's always been a good player, Lester, but just the last couple of years, he has really cemented himself amongst the sports elite.
He's been fantastic on the world stage. You get the cameras, you get the lights. This UBC, it just suits Snelly to perfection. He loves it. He loves involving the crowd as well. His teammates, very animated, always applying pressure too from the lead position.
Another terrific bowl.
What a shot, Tappy, as we see there. Didn't get down for the jack, but another fantastic bowl. It is one past the jack too, as we see his first two just shy of the jack. Sean Baker, big weight here. What can he get? Well, he clips the front blue bowl and runs away. High fives, as we see regularly from the two boys from the Dandenong Club.
So lead shot to Dandenong, 6 zip. Early stages of N1 of 5. Another look at it on the UBC replay. And Baker going after it. Almost collected his own teammate in the process with a flying bowl.
Absolutely. You will see big weight from the leads here, especially with their last bowl. If the opponents are holding lead shot, as we know, 3 points is awarded for the lead shot, 3 points for touches, 10 points if your team is holding shot at the completion of the end, 5 points for second, and 3 points for third. The ultimate end, 18 points. Gary Kelly down here on his forehand, looking to add to the counter. Is he looking to get around the back? Let's wait and see. Barrie Lester, he's liking it wherever it's heading. It's heading back to the respot, which is the blue dot there. The jack heads out of bounds, and it gets replaced on the blue dot.
So now Wedlock showing us what he can do.
Bit unfortunate there. He does make contact with the toucher, which was the shot bowl. What it does leave now is, though, only one blue bowl, one Dandenong Club bowl in the head. Gary Kelly will be looking to add to that. The head's definitely changed up here with Corey Wedlock's first bowl. Looks like second shot there as well. Very good bowl. Gary Kelly attacking again here on the backhand. Corey Wedlock, will he get down? He doesn't want to get his own two, and that's what he's done. He's got his own two bowls out there, Tappy. Plenty of room now. Only one bowl left on the rink.
Wow. So Kelly and Lester communicating. Of course, this format requires that the players get on with it. It's generally played at a much quicker rate than traditional bowls, if I can use that expression.
Absolutely. There was a shot clock in the first event. Not a shot clock here, but the players know they've got to be nice and quick. Okay, Kelly looking to add another bowl in here. As you see, there's only one orange bowl, and that's ITP Queensland. Only one orange bowl on the rink. Currently 6-0 on the scoreboard and holding the ultimate end, 18 points. What a great start here for the Dandenong Club. Big bowl needed from Wedlock for the ITP Queensland side. What can he deliver? He misses. He actually takes his own bowl out, but first, second and third shot there at the ultimate end to start, 24-0.
Well, can you believe it? Dandenong Club off to an absolute flyer. Not a lot going right for ITP Queensland at the moment as you watch exclusive coverage of the early stages of semi-final number 1 from the Deer Park Club.
The ITP Queensland team will be eager to get on the board after that first end. Witness the comeback when we return with more from the Ultimate Bowls Championship.
Thanks for being with us. Our exclusive coverage of the Ultimate Bowls Championship continuing. Lovely aerial of Australia's sports capital, Melbourne. And we are down the road a bit from the Melbourne CBD at Deer Park and the Bowls Club here. It was established back in 1955. And of course the Deer Park Club have been stunning in this tournament at this venue this week. And they'll play the other semi-final against the Point that you'll see on next week's show. But focusing on this match, semi-final number 1, Club Dandenong have gotten away to the best possible start, leading 24 zip. Beginning of end number 2, Chris.
Yes, 24-0. It is one of the big, and now 27-0 toucher there from Barrie Lester.
He can do no wrong.
He just continues to perform. That's what he does on the big stage. Speaking of Deer Park, those facilities here, they wouldn't look out of place in the Melbourne Mecca with all the fantastic sporting facilities down there. But ITP Queensland, what can they deliver? They really need to deliver something quickly, even if it's a touch or a lead shot. Just need to get on the board. Every point that Dandenong scores from now, just applying more pressure. That delivery, the focus. Barrie Lester.
He's in fantastic form. Guess that's stating the obvious if you've watched so far today. And has had a couple of touches and not too shabby once again. He just continues to get the job done. And Sean Baker now on screen looking to do likewise for his team ITP Queensland. He's had a great career and finished runner-up in the 2018 Australian Open singles.
Just missing on the high side there. Barrie Lester, if he can pass the jack or it draws a toucher behind his own. I think that's what Gary Kelly's asking. Barrie Lester, left-hander, so down on his forehand. A little bit unfortunate with his second bowl, just popping the jack out, creating a little bit of a target there for the boys in black, the ITP Queensland side of Wedlock and Baker. Barrie Lester down again here. Just passes on the high side, it's all good, as we see applause there from Gary Kelly. He's happy with that, as he should be.
They get along so well too, don't they? Baz and Gaz.
There's never a moment they aren't giving high fives or fist bumps. Plenty of smiles.
We've got to give another guy a rap too as we watch the
Can he
action
get down
continue.
for the jack? He does. 3 points, so they are going to get on the board. Yeah. Here we go. 27-3. Who will have the lead crossover? Toucher down here.
Whilst we watch this, I just wanted to give Wayne Turley a rap, the third member of the Dandenong Club's entourage, if you like. He's obviously played in a number of the preliminary rounds and has done so in exemplary fashion, which you would expect from an icon in the game.
Undefeated, Tappy. He undefeated Event 1, undefeated Event 2.
Hasn't lost an end.
30-3. So the lead crossover went to Dandenong, but it's good to see ITP Queensland on the board. All their supporters will be happy about that. All they need to do now is build on those 3 points. See if they can win first or second shot this end. They've already got second, possibly third. Opportunity here for Wedlock though. He'll be looking to land the bowl. He gets a bit of the jack himself. We know the Dandenong Club are great front runners.
30 plays 3 at this stage.
What a
toucher.
shot. Corey Wedlock, a toucher for 3 and also first, second and third. Really took the opportunity there, which laid in front of him with the bowl past the jack. Gary Kelly now, he'll be changing to his forehand. He'll also be arriving, hoping for the jack. Makes contact on any of these bowls is a good result.
Looks good. Ooh.
He does, he gets the jack. It's going to be good enough. It'll be 1 down, but he'll get 3 points for the toucher and creates plenty of room. We know how good he is at drawing the bare jacks.
So now Wedlock. They've got obviously a lot to do. The format conducive to enabling the team trailing to make up ground quickly. But when you're playing Lester and Kelly, you can ill afford to give them too much space.
100%. Opportunities like that, you don't want to miss them. Really needed to apply the pressure there, Wedlock. As Gary Kelly we see on screen, he's just asking the players to move off the peg. A lot of the world-class players, they look at the peg and they get their line off that, so they just don't want anyone standing in front of the pegs.
I mentioned earlier at the top of the show that Corey Wedlock, representing ITP Queensland in this opening semi-final, considered by many to be the best player in the country at the moment. This guy on screen, Gary Kelly, his supporters might have something to say about that. He's not done much wrong.
Well, between the two of them, there's not much they haven't won.
Exactly. Obviously, Kelly winning the World Cup at Warilla back in March. And crowd here enjoying that. 33-6.
A little bit hard on himself then. He was hoping for a toucher. He did draw the shot, which is worth 10 points. Wedlock's changed to the backhands here. Seeing if he can get down to the bowl. Get down to the bowl, make the ultimate end. No, he misses the jack as well, so really no scoring there. big thing about Gary Kelly's last bowl is 10 points. 8 points to the ITP Queensland side, courtesy of second and third shots, so the margin will extend in the favour of the Dandenong Club.
So a montage of some of the shots played in this game so far. It's tremendous to have you with us. Round 2 of the Ultimate Bowls Championship. Of course, the third and final for 2019 coming up at Moama in December. And on that note, we'll take a break. Back in a moment. You're watching the Ultimate Bowls Championship from Deer Park in Melbourne. Our coverage proudly supported by Ryman Healthcare, Aero Bowls, Sports Centre and the Deer Park Club. Some tremendous bowls, skill and precision on display. A great crowd in the house too, as we welcome you back to Deer Park. Our coverage of the first semi-final in round 2 of the $500,000 Ultimate Bowls Championship continues. You can see the scoreline there. Dandenong Club, well in advance of ITP Queensland, due in no small part of that man on screen delivering another bowl, Barrie Lester, who started this match in sizzling fashion with consecutive touches. Chris Green beside me.
The Dandenong Club, Tappy, are doing what they do best. Touches, lead shots, scoring points. 43 after just 2 ends. ITP Queensland have got a battle and a half on their hands right now. It is knockout. It is semi-final number 1. Looking for a place in the final. Dandenong Club have been there before. It's all new for the ITP Queensland side. And look, 29 the difference. End number 3, often the moving end. The end where teams really need to push away or just get back in the game. ITP Queensland need to score this end.
One would think, Chris, by virtue of the quality of the ITP Queensland duo on the rink, we will expect and see a comeback of sorts. They're too good just to lay down. Gary Kelly down, looking closely at this delivery from Barrie Lester. And they really haven't played any bad shots at all, Lester or Kelly.
Well, that's what we're seeing with the scoreline. ITP Queensland, 2 great players. They've got plenty of points in them. But the bowls that Barrie Lester's putting down, just setting up the platform here for Gary Kelly, it's making it hard for ITP to really score. We saw last end, Corey Wedlock played a fantastic shot. Then Gary Kelly comes along, moves the jack out and draws the shot. Early on, Barrie Lester, he's just applying that pressure. Sean Baker really needs to change things up here. If he can trail some jacks or land some bowls, just change the head so when Corey Wedlock gets to the mat, things are looking a little bit different.
Of course, the format of the Ultimate Bowls Championship different to anything that's been seen before. And, well, I suppose there were people with a little bit of trepidation heading into the opening round at Warilla back in April. Now everyone's on board, not least of which is the players themselves. They love it.
The tactics have changed a lot too. They do see the importance of the toucher. Also the attacking format. Really need to be scoring. And there's no use trying to be defensive in this format. Well, will he get down? He doesn't fall over for the jack, but it will be 3 points for the lead shot at the crossover. So that's what we need for ITP Queensland. Well, that's what they need if they want to stay in this match. They need to keep scoring. We see the club mates there walk to the mat, but Barrie Lester, the form he's in, unfortunately with his last bowl there, just falling up and there, hand raised in the air. Sorry, that's his one bad bowl for the match. There won't be many more like that.
Great to see a major corporate in ITP fielding a team in this championship. Should mention there are opportunities for 2020 if you're watching and you're keen to have your own team. Visit the UBC website for more details. Right now, though, we're going to go down to Georgia White, who has a special guest rinkside.
I am here joined on the rink with Miranda, Barrie's wife. Are you feeling a bit nervous?
A little bit, yeah.
Is that how you normally go into when you get to finally come to watch him play? What are you sort of thinking when you come here?
I'm always on tenterhooks. It freaks me out.
And what's it like at home leading up to a big event like this for Barrie?
Well, when he's actually home, it's quite relaxed and everything, and then he'll do his training, and but yeah, half the time his training is interstate because he's away more than he's home. So yeah,
Oh no! So you're a bowls widow now.
big time, yeah.
Well, it must be exciting watching him in this game. He's obviously playing well.
Yes, he's playing very well. Lots of touches.
Good. I'll let you get back to all the excitement. Thanks so much, Miranda.
Thanks, Georgia.
Miranda Lester there, taking time out to join our Georgia White on the rig for a chat, and obviously Barrie would attest the fact that Miranda has been a major reason for his success.
One of my favourite couples, Barrie and Miranda Tappy. I spent a lot of time as well. Not as much as I'd like to, but it's great to see Miranda here cheering Baz on. I know it's quite often that Baz is performing in events and Miranda can't be there. She is supporting, but just normally from back home. Gary Kelly are walking to the mat. Continuing their dominance here, the Dandenong Club currently holding first and third shot. 29 points already the margin halfway through this end number 3.
Player on screen, Gary Kelly really burst to prominence back in 2010 at the Commonwealth Games when winning the bronze medal in the men's singles. And since then, it's been an express ride to the top of the bowls world. Have a look at Lester. There is no player more animated. 46-17, Dandenong Club. In 3, you can see Baker trying to spread words of wisdom. His teammate at the other end, of course, Wedlock.
Huge shot here for Wedlock. Really needs some points. Currently Dandenong with first and third, so that'll just push the lead even further. Can he get down? He's got enough for third, hopefully for the ITP Queensland side. Dandenong with first shot, so they're still going to push away even further.
Replay of Kelly, who's been outstanding in this match so far. Great focus and concentration.
If you haven't already, be sure to get on the Ultimate Bowls Championship Facebook page and give the guys a like. More stats, videos, player profiles can be found on here, and it's an amazing community to be a part of. We'd love to see you there.
You're watching the Ultimate Bowls Championship from Deer Park in Melbourne. Our coverage proudly supported by Ryman Healthcare, Aero Bowls, Sports Centre and the Deer Park Club. Well, the dominance of Dandenong Club continues in this first semi-final, coming to you from the Deer Park Club in Melbourne. Our coverage of the Ultimate Bowls Championship continues. A reminder to join us on next week's program right here in the same time slot for semi-final number 2 between The Point and Deer Park, the host club, doing an exemplary job to qualify for the semi. And of course the winner of that will meet the winner of this game you're watching in the final. If you were not aware, and perhaps have just joined our UBC coverage, Dandenong Club winning the opening round of the championship at Warilla back in April. And by virtue of that and their subsequent form, they were probably entitled to be favourites for this match, Chris. But I think everyone in the venue is quite surprised by the manner in which they've been able to put a gap between them and obviously ITP Queensland.
Certainly favourites, but not by this margin. It's 31 points. ITP Queensland have been really good heading into this semi-final. But what a clinical performance we've seen from Lester and Kelly. It seems to have just been Baz is setting everything up. If they are changing the heads ITP Queensland, then Kelly's coming along and he's providing the goods for the Dandenong Club.
They are some combination. And will take a power of stopping in any tournament they team up in. So the action continues. This is the penultimate end. And ITP Queensland, I know it's stating the obvious, they have it all to do. And now we see Baker. Another opportunity for him. Started playing the game of bowls in 1996, introduced to the sport by his parents. And there you go. So a toucher for ITP Queensland. All is not lost.
3 points, the margin now 28. The beauty of the UBC is the amount of points on offer. If they can get first, second and third shot, it's 18 points. We just saw 3 points for the toucher there from Baker. If he can be holding shot at the crossover, that's a further 3 points. They really just need to be biting into this margin. N4, 1 end to go after this, but still plenty of points on offer.
What a phenomenal success the Ultimate Bowls Championship has been. Incredible numbers on social media, Chris. People around the world tuning in, contributing. They're loving it.
Just a range of platforms too, Tappy. You can pretty much access the UBC from any sort of device or platform, which is brilliant. It just provides bowlers and non-bowlers alike across the globe with the opportunity to tune into the UBC. Great bowl here from Baker. Can this be the change of fortune for the ITP side? There'll be a further 3 points for the crossover there, the lead shot. They're also holding first, second and third. That'd be the loosest end that Barrie Lester has put down. The good news for ITP is Sean Baker has capitalised. He's got a toucher and he's got the lead shot. So 6 points he's already added this end.
Interesting to note that Sean Baker rates Kelvin Kirko as the player he respects the most in the sport and loves to be on the rink with. Describes Kelvin as the consummate professional. Of course, Kelvin has been one of the commentators on our television coverage of the UBC in 2019.
And a player too for the Tweed Head Ospreys.
Exactly.
Just missing out on the finals action in event number 2. Wedlock. What can he provide here for ITP Queensland? Can he get down for the jack and a further 3 points? No. It does open it up a little bit here for Kelly. They do hold first, second and third. Kelly's still got 2 bullets. Generally only needs 1 bullet though. What he can do with the bowls is amazing.
Yeah, freakish. A lot of people in the sport still talking about that shot in the quarterfinal. In the previous round on the south coast at Warilla, he can produce something special when required. And that's what makes him a champ.
Big weight here on his backhand. Kelly, can he get past his own? He does. He got past his own front. Gets a little bit more of an edge on the first shot here, and he gets all 3. However, he only removes 1, so first and second shot. Great to see the replays there of the players, especially when they're playing big weight and the reaction on their faces. Wedlock needs to draw another here and apply the pressure. To get down, he just needs to hold on. Doesn't look. Plenty of room here for Kelly. He'll be back on the draw here. Changes hands to the forehand. We've seen plenty of good bowls played on his forehand with his weight control. But as bowlers know, one of the toughest shots in the book is coming back from a drive to a dead draw. Currently down first and second shot. They do lead by 25 on the scoreboard though, Gary Kelly.
I think the crowd's a bit stunned in here, Chris, with Club Dandenong, or Dandenong Club's dominance. Look at that. It is a toucher. I thought it was going to miss.
Hands in
by
the
the
air
tiniest
there.
of margins. Well, that's rubbing it in, isn't it?
It sure is. As we saw, he changes hands. He goes from a full-blooded runner to a draw shot, big fist pump. That's what we've come to know from Kelly and from Lester. They're either high-fiving or they're fist pumping, playing great shots. Wedlock, can he convert? Looks to be under the line here. He doesn't want to be pushing the blue up. He misses. So it'll be a further 10 points here for Dandenong Club. And what a big bowl that was.
Well, there's only 1 end remaining in this first semi-final. As you look at a replay of Wedlock and his frustration, you're watching the Ultimate Bowls Championship.
The Dandenong Club team extend their lead as we head into the final set. Let's see if they can cement another spot in the UBC Grand Final when we return.
Well, the final end about to commence here at Deer Park as we welcome you back to our coverage. The second round of the Ultimate Bowls Championship. Dandenong Club. Well, is it an unassailable lead? It's going to be very tough for ITP Queensland with 1 end to go, Chris. They trail 69-39.
It's happy. You know I love my figures. I love my points. Why wouldn't I? It's the UBC. But ITP Queensland, they've pretty much got a score with every bowl here. Well, you can score 39 points. Okay, you can get 18 points for the ultimate end. You can get 6 touches and you can get the league crossover. Currently, they've scored 39 for the whole match, and they're 30 behind. There's already 1 bowl gone, so it's 3 points off. 36 still available. This will be some win, because Dandenong, if they get a toucher, that's a further 3 points for them.
Yeah, understood. But I'll tell you something, and you know this, Kelly and Lester won't be thinking about any of that really. They'll put the foot down and get on with this, and try and finish it off in the most comprehensive fashion possible. And there's an example of it.
Right on point, a toucher.
Yep.
And that's the thing with this format, which has changed from the first event, is the teams know that they just need to keep pushing. The more they score, the harder it is for their opponents. So there's no sort of real need for a defensive end. If they just keep scoring, especially drawing touches like Baz did, it actually takes pretty much a scoring shot off the ITP Queensland, because they can only see a point of the jack now, where they could see the whole jack if Baz was to cover.
I don't think Lester or Kelly could even spell the word complacent.
Maybe together, maybe half-half.
You reckon? So Barrie Lester sends another down.
Well, they are the dynamic duo. They can pretty much do anything together, as we've seen in this match and matches prior. So I wouldn't put anything past the boys, especially teaming up. Barrie Lester coming in early and Gary Kelly finishing things off.
Wedlock and Baker, representing ITP Queensland here, would be very disappointed. They would have given themselves some hope.
Does get a toucher there, but is it too little, too late? 3 points for the toucher, 3 for the crossover.
Lead shot, ITP Queensland. Been great atmosphere at this venue. It's not indoor per se, but has a magnificent roof structure above the synthetic rinks. I've mentioned a couple of times in recent weeks on our coverage about how cold it is here. Believe me, I'm not joking.
Tappy, there's a potential here for a tie-break. We haven't had one yet. Event 1, there was no tie-breaks.
You are the eternal optimist.
Exactly. Well, he's got 3 bowls, Wedlock, which is potential for 9 points. And they get the 18 points for the ultimate end. There's 27. And then we can lock it up at 72 apiece. For the viewers at home, if we do go to a tie-break, the 3rd player on each roster. So John Newell from ITP Queensland, he will join Corey and Sean Baker. And Wayne Turley, the legend Turls, he will join the Dandenong boys of Lester and Kelly. But for that to happen, this needs to be a toucher.
It'd be interesting to see if that should ever come to fruition.
I'd love to see it. I would love to see it, Tappy. It'd be great to see all 3 players, because, as we know, it's a pairs format, but it's no ultimate ends then, it's just whoever gets closest.
So Turls and Newell have to stay away from the bar, don't they? Just in case.
Well, potentially you could have one player who has not played a bowl and they get the shot, and they're the heroes for the match.
Remarkable. 72-45.
So we won't be seeing it this match. Although ITP Queensland still a chance here. Close the margin. They've had a great event. And as you said, Moama later in the year in December. So they'll be looking forward to that. With the improvements they've made from Event 1 to Event 2, they'll be a team to watch out for at Event 3.
Moama, a magnificent facility.
Look at this, a toucher. Look at those 3 shots there. 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Might be close for the 3rd.
Well, a flurry of points coming for ITP Queensland.
24 points, still the margin. It'd be nice to see them just close that gap that little bit. Gary Kelly, match already over. Still a couple of bowls to go, but the scoring opportunities aren't there. Interesting to see what shot the big man from Northern Ireland plays. Surely something for the crowd here. Will he play some weight? Try and break up the shot bowls, even get a toucher of his own. And we'll be progressing to the final and playing either the host Deer Park Chargers or the Point. Big weight here, backhand Gary Kelly. And Baz has already got his hands in the air. Lester got his hands in the air, and why not? Look at that result. The jack has bounced forward and sideways, and 1st, 2nd and 3rd now held by Dandenong Club. Is there anything these boys can't do?
Look at that super slow motion replay. Crowd loving it, we're loving it, hope you're loving it. Wherever you're watching, I'll tell you something, Gary Kelly, we know how good he is as a player. He's a terrific guy too.
He is a terrific guy. Look at this. Wedlock's actually playing this left-handed. The crowd are loving it. Look, the boys are having some fun. That's what it's all about. He's got 2 of them. He's actually made room on 3. First, second and third shot there for Dandenong Club. They've played fantastic. It's been clinical. High fives all around there for the boys. Look, the score is probably not going to indicate the closeness of the match from the 4 players, but what it does show is just the clinical display Dandenong Club put on.
It also shows that they are the team to beat again in this second round of the championship at Deer Park. Super slow motion of Gary Kelly, reigning World Cup singles champion in action for the Dandenong Club. Comprehensive win in semi-final 1. They go to the final, and here they are with Georgia.
Yeah, we're celebrating here ringside. Dandenong Club have just gone off after that big win. What do you feel like was the biggest turning point in the game for you?
The biggest turning point was, Barrie was really just dominating at the front, which was amazing, and always putting his balls in good areas, which is really important for the skip. It gives me chances and opportunities to create things, make it happen.
Plenty of touches for you that game, Barrie.
Yeah, they're hard to come by, but I'm trying my best to get as many touches as I can, but really put bowls in the area to give Gary a chance. But Corey played some amazing shots in that drive, and then to draw, it's probably one of the hardest shots you can, especially in this environment. So Gary, I think that was the shot that got us back in the game.
And you will be running through this form for the next game, you two as the combination?
Yeah, once again, speak to Rob Wilson, the coach, but I would say so, yeah.
You guys don't give anything away. Well done, thank you so much. Cheers.
Georgia White handling the interviews downstairs. Of course, Georgia, a very good player in her own right. There it is, Dandenong through to the final. They'll face the winner of next week's second semi-final that you'll see right here involving the Point and Deer Park. Cannot wait for that one. Fabulous players representing both sides. And, well, there is a very big prize up for grabs, as I said, Chris.
Yes, the prize is a place in the final. The prize for this event, $150,000 on offer, $60,000 for the winner. Who will take that opportunity through to the final? The Point or the host Deer Park Chargers? Tappy, it's been fantastic. I can't wait for the semi-final next week.
Indeed, you're looking at a recap of some of the action and the highlights from this opening semi-final in front of a really good crowd at the Deer Park Club, who deserve a massive rap for the manner in which they have hosted this second event in the Ultimate Bowls Championship. They have done a splendid job. We do hope you've enjoyed our coverage wherever you might be watching around the world, and do hope you can tune in again next week for our coverage. You'll see every bowl in the second semi-final. We'll catch you then.